Well, if you're a bass player, one of the things you can't get away without doing is slapping or popping. Now, I'll never forget the first time I heard a bass being slapped around. And it was ages ago. A group called Sly and the Family Stone had a bass player named Larry Graham. And when he first came on the scene, I remember all my bandmates coming to me saying, "You have to hear this guy." And I'd listen to those records and I couldn't figure out how that sound was being made. And it was him slapping and popping the bass. And so by slapping that string, getting it, and using the hammer on, and then he was getting this very percussive sound. And I later found out that Larry Graham was in a band without a drummer, so he was basically creating the drum part as well as the bass part at the same time. And he had these lines, oh. Sliding all over the bass, and the thing sounded like a drum and a bass at the same time. It was amazing. And this site is about creating complete bassists. So some of you may very well specialize in slapping. It's not one of the things that I do all the time, but I incorporate a little popping and slapping into what I do with my fingers. And so you should actually check it out and know how to do it. Out of principle, some bass players make the artistic choice not to slap or pop. For instance, my good friend Anthony Jackson, great bass player and influential bass player, but he chooses not to slap, and I get it. However, in today's world, especially if you're going to play the funk, you're going to have to know how to slap. So check out some of these records. Sly and the Family Stone, records by Larry Graham, and of course, these days and times, there's so many great bass players that can slap like crazy, Marcus Miller and Victor Wooten. So I just recommend that you listen to as many players as you can and get some of the slapping techniques going. So again, for those of you that haven't experimented with slapping or popping, the slap is just the thumb slapping the string. And you literally, and you'll see some players like Louis Johnson, I mean, he'll get that thumb back so far and really hit it hard. And then the left hand will mute it to get that percussive edge, so you can go. You know, so now we have that going. And then of course, if you, because all I was doing, but when they open the string, so you're a drummer now. And so you can fool around with that, come up with as many patterns and paradiddles as you can. And then the popping part of it, you can either pinch those like you're pinching somebody and just pinch the string. And of course, if you put a little hammer on the left hand. Or you can get your finger under the string like that and pull it like that. So when you combine the two, you have the so and so on. So now, I'd like to put it all together and add the drums and see what we can come up with. Something like that.